Welcome back to another episode. I have to apologize. It's been a while since I've been able to upload as I've been very busy with my normal day job. But let's get back to cooking, business as usual. This week, we're going to be working with some vegan birria tacos using king oyster mushrooms. All right, let's get cooking. Now, I want to say right off the top, these are not traditional birria tacos. This would be my rendition of, from what I understand, of how they should be made. So just follow along. I guarantee they'll taste awesome. So first thing we're going to need is one large onion, a full bunch of cilantro chopped, and we're going to need some vegan cheese. Now, birria tacos use about 4 or 5 different forms of chiles to make the sauce, depending on who you ask. This is just the grouping that I use to make my sauce. So the first thing we got to know is all of your whole peppers have to be seeded and boiled so that they blend properly into the sauce. Now for my sauce, I only had to serve about 3 people, so add and subtract where is necessary. So we're going to need 5 guajillos, 1 chile pasillas, 3 chile de árbol, and about a teaspoon or 1 chipotle chili. Now I couldn't find any of these that weren't canned, so I got them in powder form. Now, this is the full list of all of the rest of the ingredients that we will be using in your sauce. I already had made a pre-made sauce at the time that I made this video, so I didn't think it made sense to make more. I also have the full list of ingredients in the description below, so just make sure you have all of these things, and all of this will be going into your blender cup and blended together with your chiles. So once that is blended, this is what your sauce should look like once it is finished. You want to make sure to partition some of it off to the side so that you have some sauce saved for both cooking the mushrooms and also dipping your tortillas. Now, moving on to the mushrooms. These are king oyster mushrooms. We're not going to be using the top, so we're going to remove those and then shred them using a fork. You can either use the back or the front of the fork. I suggest using the back at times because as the mushroom continues to shred, you may start to scratch your hand. You're going to need 10 to 12 king oyster mushrooms. And voila, nicely shredded. Moving on to the cooking portion. So we're going to use some of our onions to put into the pot with some oil, lightly saute 3 to 5 minutes, essentially until the onions have become translucent. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. So add in your mushrooms. I'm going to add it in portions because my frying pan is not quite as large and spacious, so we're going to cook this in portions. Now that it is boiled away a little bit, I'm going to add the rest of my mushrooms. And you want to cook these until they're nice and soft. So I suggest putting your pan on low, allowing for the natural juices to cook the mushrooms. Now we're going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, just for flavor, not too much because there's also going to be salt in the sauce. So now we're going to add our sauce to the pan progressively, making sure that it's equally spread amongst all of the mushrooms. And the mushrooms are going to sit and cook and simmer in this sauce for roughly 10 minutes or so. 10 to 15 minutes it should take. But you want to cook it until the sauce has reduced a little bit so all the flavor soaks up in the mushrooms. Moving on. Now we have our tortillas. We have our dipping sauce that has been put to the side. So we're going to dip our tortillas, make sure both sides are fully saturated with the sauce, add it to your pan. Now as you cook your tortillas, you want to make sure that you're flipping them regularly because once you put the ingredients inside, we want to make sure that the tortillas don't start to burn. So we're going to add our cheese. Then we're going to add a spoon about of our mushrooms. We're going to add some of our cilantro and onions. I put a little bit of cheese on top just to make sure that it's nice and melty on both sides. And then we're going to regularly flip our taquitos on both sides so they don't burn. And voila, they should be finished. Now, most people usually dip their taquitos in more of the sauce. I find that's a little excessive. So I made a little guacamole on the side to go with it. You can make salsa, whatever is good for you. or you can stick to the traditional way of dipping it in the birria sauce. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys next time. Check out a few more of my older videos. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.